TikTok is trying to silence me. No, really, the first time I did this video, I was being really offensive and TikTok crashed. The second time I did this video, not that offensive, and my voice went away. Let's hope this time I don't upset TikTok and its censorship filters. All right, I'm gonna talk about how the United States is using racism to shoot itself in the foot. Incoming Fed Chief Stephen Mirren gives up the secret. And I'm gonna agree with Ted Cruz. I don't know what universe we live in now. But first up, I often get questions about fixed rates and stuff like that. This is the 5-year Canada bond right now. It has fallen since the rate announcement. Earlier this year, I said to lock in. Okay, it was around this point over here. All right, so you see, we're just back to where we were earlier this year. I need to give everyone some caution here, okay? Because people are hoping against hope that we're going to drop down below 2%, that fixed rates will come in below 2%. That's only going to happen if there's a catastrophe. Could a catastrophe happen? Yes. But caveat there, it's a catastrophe. So it may not be good for you. I'm going to say what I said earlier this year. If you can get a low 4% fixed rate or a high 3% fixed rate, take it. Don't gamble on this, unless you like gambling. All right, incoming Fed Chief Stephen Mirren gives up the secret. Money is worth assets. There's no material inflation from tariffs. What is he saying? He's saying that the tariffs, yeah, they're increasing consumer prices, but that's not inflation. Because the tariffs are absolutely increasing consumer prices. But the tariffs are not directly decreasing the value of money. And I've been saying for a while that we need to track the value of money to the cost of assets, not the cost of consumer goods. That's not a good way to measure it. We've been doing that for 50 years. How's that worked out so far? But is it true that the tariffs are not causing inflation? Not really. Foreign holdings of U.S. Treasuries surged to an all-time high in July. China's sink. Here's what's happening. China's dumping U.S. Treasuries, which will reduce U.S. dollar value. And so the U.S. allies, Japan, the U.K., likely Canada as well, are buying up those treasuries. Should we be? No. I've been saying this for a while now. We need to change our target. We can't rely on the U.S. anymore. We can't tie our dollar value to their dollar value. This is a terrible idea. I'm going to show you even more reason why it's a terrible idea at the end of the video. But first, I'm going to have to agree with Ted Cruz. Like the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing, I get people talking about how it's the same as Jordan Peterson. It's the same as Don Cherry. Like, what? People, the government stepped in to cancel Jimmy Kimmel. This wasn't an employer who decided upon it. Like, if you do something stupid at work and you upset one of your coworkers and your boss fires you for it, that's not the government's fault. I don't understand how people don't get this. Ted Cruz gets this. On his podcast, Ted Cruz was very critical of FCC Chair Brendan Carr for demanding ABC suspend Jimmy Kimmel. He said, it's dangerous as hell and right out of Goodfellas. And this is the part that, honest to God, I don't really grasp. Like, if the right, the political right, does stuff like this, they're setting precedents. And they're opening door for the political left to do the exact same thing in retaliation. Just a few months ago, these fascists were saying, make comedy illegal because one guy wasn't invited to the White House. What goes around comes around, man. What goes around comes around, and Ted Cruz understands that. All right, the United States is shooting itself in the foot yet again. Trump to impose $100,000 fee per year for H-1B visas. What is the H-1B visa? It's very heavily used in the tech sector to bring in the talent required to do these very demanding jobs. Idiot savant Howard Lucknick doesn't understand that. If you're going to train somebody, you're going to train one of the recent graduates from one of the great universities across our land. Stop bringing in people to take our jobs. Right now, there's going to be a whole bunch of right-wingers who are saying, yeah, that's the way it should be. So for you guys, I'll explain it in terms of hockey. Now imagine if all the American NHL teams stopped bringing in foreign players. No Russians, no Finns, no Canadians. They just trained up their university graduates. How do you think that's going to work out for them? I mean, it'll work out great for Canadians. Like, we would win every Stanley Cup from here on out. You know it's true. You know it's true. So this is going to be a disaster. This is going to be an absolute disaster. These companies will just move offices to somewhere else. It's going to cost companies tens of millions of dollars because the people ain't going to pay it. It's another nail in the coffin. And the world better wake up quick. Because as long as we prop up the dollar, we're pulling ourselves down with it.